Of Parliament is Timothy Wanyonyi, who assumed the seat in 2013. This year, he is facing competition from Jubilee and ANC candidates who did not make it for the show, despite the fact that we had invited them. Westlands residents are welcome to participate in today's discussion, and anybody else, of course, who would be interested in participating, you're welcome to do so. Now, Wanyonyi, has he kept his 2013 promise? Engage me on Twitter and let me know. Mheshimiwa, welcome to Morning Express and welcome to the Dawn Debate this morning. Let's start off with the fact that you are basically the Member of Parliament incumbent in Westlands constituency, and why do you deserve to be given a second chance or another chance?
I believe that when I came to Westlands, there are many things that I promised to do, which to my own assessment and maybe the assessment of the people of Westlands, I've achieved most of them. Number two, we are the first parliament that is operating under the new constitution. And there's so many things that changed from the old order to the new order. And you find that many Kenyans have not yet transformed to the new constitution. They still believe in the old order, and many have seen that the roles that were being played by Member of Parliament then, some of them have been devolved to the county government, but we still face that same focus that the Member of Parliament is supposed to provide almost everything, all answers to anything that are rising from there. That is okay, but sometimes I find it that those things are being pushed to me that are supposed to be done by the county government.
Okay, and I guess it is upon you, or
Yes,
on your shoulders, to ensure that those who push it to you understand the new order, as it were.
Yes, we have tried to explain. I've even held sessions with my constituency and explained some things that sometimes I tell them, fine, I am your Member of Parliament and you can send me wherever you want to send me. I can even go and present whatever they want at any level of government, whether it's a county government or central government. That is still within my jurisdiction, and I can still work on it. But also there are roles of MCAs, there are roles of senators, women representatives, and the governor.
Okay,
Yes.
Let's focus on your responsibility. What is the key thing that you would say you promised the people of Westlands and you delivered?
One of the best things that I promised that I'll do is to transform the education sector, which I have done. I think I can comfortably say that 90% has been achieved, because I have changed the environment of learning. I've improved schools.
How have you done that? As a Member of Parliament, your job is mainly oversight and legislation. How have you done that? How have you managed to do that?
We do, you remember we have the CDF fund that is used to do development at the constituency level. And these funds are given to us to improve certain things within the constituency. Education is one of the main focus. Environment, sports, and many other things. So my focus, as I came, I looked at the schools within the area of Westlands, and I found that many of the public schools, ever since they were built or constructed many years ago in the 60s, nothing has ever been done to them or to improve the situation. Children did not have desks. The schools are dilapidated, leaking roofs, and many other things. So when I went around the schools, I saw the same story everywhere. So I managed to tell my CDF committee that this is the area we must focus on. And then the second thing that I've done is women empowerment. I have tried to improve the women so that they can now make their own money, have business and all that, improve the quality of life. And we have done that through a project called Table Banking. It's called Joy Table Banking. And many women, we have over 300 groups of women that have subscribed to this program, and they are doing very well. The other program that I have undertaken is youth empowerment, which we have started projects like Mirati Mitaani, whereby we help the youth to acquire equipment that will help them do their
better their lives. All right,
lives.
Now maybe let's focus and look forward. And you're seeking a second term as Member of Parliament. When we look at Westlands, it's a very cosmopolitan, modern environment. We have a lot of business going on there. We have huge investments that have been made in that area. However, we don't see much progress when it comes to developing the infrastructure, developing the road network. It's become a problem. Just traffic has become a problem, and I know that may not directly fall in your office, but as a visionary, as a Member of Parliament, for that constituency to develop, those need to be sorted out. What is your way forward?
My way forward to try and improve Westlands. You know, Westlands is actually is like the headquarters of Nairobi, because almost everything happens in Westlands. You find all business headquarters are housed in Westlands. Some of the biggest companies in Africa are housed in Westlands. The international community, the diplomatic corps, and all those, they are found within the area of Westlands. I have engaged various stakeholders, including the county government, the central government, and others, to how we can improve, especially the infrastructure, the roads network. And I've particularly discussed with the county government on how we can make Westlands even a model town of Nairobi, the model shopping center. And we are trying to do that by removing, improving the market sector, so that the people who are trading outside the original market that was there are taken back. And that market had stalled from the previous time when it was under the local government. But now, I think within the next 2 or 3 years, that market will be complete, and we'll have taken back the traders, the business communities there, back to the market, so that we can beautify the streets and make the streets more accessible. Because that's what's causing the traffic snarl up in Westlands.
Yeah, and that's one of them. But also, there's no expansion that we have seen in terms of the road network. It's probably the same way it was 15, 20 years ago, when the population was less. That market at the center of almost like a roundabout was not there some time ago. But there has been no infrastructure. No expansion.
Now, I don't know when you are in Westlands last.
Actually, yesterday.
If you have been there, and going towards the side of, when you are going to Spring Valley and Loresho side, you can see the kind of work that is being done there. There's this new bypass that is starting from near the Sarit Center, the curio shop, that will go all the way to Eastlands and all that. And then there are other roads that are being developed around that area. And these roads, most of them are going to come and converge in Westlands. And they'll come and join the highway, and then they create the underpass somewhere at a roundabout. That roundabout, in the long run, is going to be removed, so that they create an ease movement of vehicles, whether crisscrossing or going past the Westlands. And we're also looking at situations whereby the vehicles that have got no business within the CBD in Westlands, they should not come through the shopping center, because that is one of the things that cause a lot of traffic. Cause traffic. The other thing that was really harassing people, we had criminal gangs roaming along the...
security has been a major issue in Westlands as well.
The Jerome area. So we have I have engaged the police and all the security operatives, so that they patrol those streets to make sure that these criminal gangs are flushed out. Because they come when there's traffic jam, and then they start robbing and breaking into people's vehicles. That is one thing that we have focused on, and I think the police have done very well in that area. They have tried to minimize, although they have not completely eliminated these guys, but I'm sure they will do it. The security within Westlands has also improved, because I have been having interactive sessions with the security, the police and others, to see how we can improve the situation in Westlands. And I've seen they have installed these CCTV cameras in many vantage points to help the police actually focus and maybe arrest people who are trying to commit crime within the area of Westlands.
All right, and from your experience, and now that you're seeking a second term in Westlands, what is it that you're promising the people of Westlands? Why should they elect you? What is it that you have to offer that you've not already done in the 5 years that you are a member of parliament in Westlands?
I believe that 5 years has not been, is not enough for any meaningful transformation or change.
Really? Why? 5 years is a long time, and I believe even the reason why it is constitutionally 5 years is because it's a period of time you're given enough to do what needs to be done.
Well, what I plan to do within the 5 years, I have done it. But when you look that we were coming from the old constitution, the new constitution, there are so many other things that we need to focus on. For example, I started these projects of equipping schools. I have computer labs in all my primary schools, which have been, which I have installed from my own initiative and the stakeholders, the people who supported it. And I was looking at it that we in Westlands, when they were changing the boundaries, they removed all secondary schools from Westlands. So we find that within Westlands, we have only 5 secondary schools. And many of our children who are coming from primary schools, most of them are falling out because they don't have, they cannot access secondary education, or they have to go very far, and many parents cannot afford to take their children to school in a far-off place. So we are trying to create also secondary schools within Westlands. We are trying to improve, to expand the existing facilities so that we can accommodate more children. Because I realize when I transform the schools, the enrollment just shot up. Some schools are having upwards of over 2,000 children. And when you go, the classes are not large enough to accommodate these kids. So we need to expand those facilities to accommodate more children. The area of sports, we have also done a lot of things within the sports, because this is an area where we harness talent and also help the young people to move away from being idle and engage themselves in something. So we have done, I've been holding football tournaments, I've been sponsoring talent search. We have had many other things that help the youth. Actually, we nurture their talent. Yeah.
All right. And what is the one thing that you can say once, if given a chance, or if elected on the 8th of August as Member of Parliament for Westlands, this is the one thing that you would leave as a legacy that after Tim Wanyonyi has left this, the people of Westlands will forever be grateful and remember that you did for them?
One thing that I would like to leave Westlands, as I always say, that you must leave the place better than you found it.
And would you say that so far it's better than you found it?
It's better than the way I found it, because if you look at one thing that I've tried to do also in Westlands, I have tried to bring together all the communities that live in Westlands to speak as Kenyans, not speak in tribal cocoons. I've tried to work around to unite all the people of Westlands, so that you don't feel that if you are not from this community, you'll not get the services from the office of the MP. So anybody who comes to my office, works in my office, regardless of where you come from, regardless of your social status in the society, I will attend to you, because you are a Kenyan first, and number 2, you are a voter in Westlands. And that's the only criteria that we use, that you must be a voter within Westlands, that you must be a Kenyan who has who stays within the area of Westlands. And what I would like to leave as a legacy in Westlands is to improve, to see that Westlands is living at the as the people read it, because they say Westlands is the richest constituency. I want the people of Westlands, because people don't know that within Westlands, there are slums. Within Westlands, there are informal settlements. I would like these informal settlements to be a safe place for people to live, good environment, and clean. Because many areas, when you go there, you find they are not very conducive.
Not very conducive.
Yes.
Let's just tackle that issue you've brought up of garbage and generally the cleanliness of Westlands. It's taken you 5 years and it's still not cleaned up. What difference would it make if you're given another term? What else can you do differently? I mean, just garbage.
Yes. Now, this is an area that don't squarely fall within my jurisdiction, but I've engaged through our environmental sector. We have an environmental department that we deal with, and I've engaged many people with it, the residents, those who do business in the markets, our youth, to clean up, and also plant trees within the areas that need to be planted. And many times we clean up, and we work with the county government, because that is the area that falls under them. When we clean up, we call them to come and bring us the trucks to carry away the garbage. And you know, the only thing that we are unable to manage in this country is solid waste management. Because when you go to other countries, like, for example, Japan, they talk about zero waste. There's completely no waste anywhere. And they use this waste to generate energy.
And looking at the bigger picture, you are a member of parliament. Have you done anything in terms of legislation to ensure that we're moving towards that direction?
Yes, we have done it. If you look at our environment legislation, it is one of the main focus that we have done. But when you look at also the bylaws of the city council, you'll find that their main focus is actually to provide the services for cleaning up the city and making sure that the environment is conducive, and the neighborhoods, any neighborhood, is completely not litter-free. Because many times we find that people just, the city council, they're slugging to come and collect garbage, and then people get frustrated and all that kind of thing.
And leave it out there.
Yes.
All right, because of time, Tim Wanyonyi will have to wind it up right there. Thank you very much for joining us this morning on the Dawn Debate. And of course, we'll be focusing and looking at Westlands as we get closer and closer to the 8th of August for the elections. And we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, that's where we end Dawn Debate this morning. This is Morning Express, the Friday version that gets your weekend started on the right footing. So we're going to take a short break. We'll have some music coming in. Remember, later on, we've got hot topics, and we'd love to know what has been a hot topic for you this week. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.